extra time does not refresh. It is your extra time for the rest of the draft. Simple as that, right? And now we are going to click that button, Gems, in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, starting right out of the gate, no time wasted. Hydra is going to ban Revenant.
Removes one of the priority carries. Revenant, I think at this moment in time, is placed higher than I think any other hero, maybe apart from FaZe. The thing is, with FaZe, you want it paired up with something, usually Revenant, and there is the FaZe ban. As I was talking about it, so no Revenant, no FaZe. Arguably one of the most oppressive duos you can get, and neither team's going to have access to that combo. However, Hydra do grab that Morigesh, again, one of the high priority picks in terms of the offlane / the mid lane. They're able to get a nice little flex where it can go in either one of the two. It does really well against an 2v1 situation. The Hive, the Mark, can push out a carry with no regen because FaZe has been banned as well. It can fit in that lane incredibly well.
And we're actually seeing a lot of confidence come straight out of Hydra as they've consistently on their picks picked immediately. One more way of being a little more cautious and more thoughtful with their picks. They're going to take a Decker Twin Blast combination. Interesting to see where they go from that one. As Hydra already has the oppressive bully in Morigesh.
The Decker Twin Blast is, again, one of those duos where it doesn't look too scary, but if you get a Stasis Bomb, a couple of grenades, that's all they need. And Morigesh with a low health ball early on can actually be pushed out of the offlane incredibly well. And these picks are going by very fast. Grux, Quang from Hydra, Howitzer, Bellica on the side of One More Wave. These comps are building up incredibly quickly. They have pre-planned, I suspect, what they want and what they're willing to give away, because these have been instant.
They know what's going on. We're seeing that Azzybear back on his main Howitzer. That man knows how to play Howitzer. If you're looking, like, legitimately, if you're looking for someone who can play a very strong Howitzer that isn't your traditional Arsenic and your Nazguls, check out Azzybear. He knows what he's doing, and he's got the Decker to back him up. We are seeing Hydra take the Narbash Murdoch. Oh my god, I think this is the fastest draft we've seen so far. Rampage being picked up as the last one. Yeah, that is the quickest draft we've seen so far. Final team comps: Hydra, Morigesh, Grux, Quang, Narbash, and Murdoch. And one more wave: Rampage, Howie, Bellica, Twin Blast, and Decker. Both team comps are incredibly strong. There's no, I don't think there's a clear-cut advantage on here. I think this is more of a preference. And what is your preference here, Gems?
Well, we see one more wave of how it's a Decker. The other side has Grux, Quang, Narbash, and Morigesh. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be really, really tough to call, to be honest. I think one more wave overall have a much more solid composition in terms of their goal, what they want to achieve in team fights. It's a lot clearer. Whereas Hydra have to sort of play this sort of pick-based composition. There's skirmish over here with the Grux and the Morigesh, and then take the other bits and skirmish elsewhere, and sort of split up the side of One More Wave. If they can do that and take fights on multiple points of the map, I think Hydra will overall gain a significant lead, whereas if One More Wave can force these team fights, these 5v5s, they have a much stronger composition.
I do agree with that. I think that One More Wave's team has a more well-defined role on their team. They have their tank, they have their support, they have their offlaner, they have a lot of CC to follow up on that one. And like you said, that's not to dissuade the pick off Hydra. They've got a Grux, they've got a Quang, they have Morigesh, they have their damage. It's just like, I think they're going to be a little more pick-oriented because they're going to have the Thunk, the Judgment, followed by Cosby with the Smash and Grab. And then Vanilla QT just mark them off, get the job done, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. And are you ready to hop into this?
I am ready. The game we've been waiting for all day. Hydra versus One More Wave. And we're going to start this off, Gems, in 3, 2, 1, and go. Boom, boom. Here we are, guys. Welcome to the last game of PCL2 for the day. And it's going to be the big one. It's going to be the exciting one. To introduce One More Wave, we are having Squishy Flap on the Decker, Azzybear, mid lane Howitzer, as the teams are already crashing in. Get this out of the way quickly. Sour Offlane Bellica, Obamacare, Twin Blast, and IDOC leading the charge. Oh my god, the drop off, and we have Cosby the smash and grab, catching 3 out. Already an explosive team fight blowing up at level 1. It's gonna be Vanilla QT picking up the first blood of the game. That one Legend following up with Murdoch. Regal Infiltrator trying to run away as Obamacare's caught out 2v1. And he's going down as well. Squishy Flap, that's going to be a little... That's a triple kill only a minute into the game for Team Hydra. We saw one more wave going in, trying to flex, get fresh, and get those early wards. And however, the trap was laid by Hydra, and the ambush was successful as they picked up 3 already. And we usually say, Gems, level 1 kills don't mean a lot, but 3 level 1 kills, that's going to start leaving a mark.
Yeah, but before that, I want to introduce the side of Hydra. So we have Vanilla QT on the Morogesh, Regal Infiltrator on the Quag, Pixel on that Narbash, the one Legend on the Murdoch, and Cosby on that Grux. And as we were talking about, 3 kills onto one Legend. He's already at 6 points on his first back when he chooses to go there. He's sitting pretty. But what I loved more than anything is it looked like Hydra had been scouting out, or they were familiar with how One More Wave likes to plan their early game, and they prepared a strategy to go for this early game fight, and it really paid off.
And I don't think we've seen an actual we've seen a team counteract that play or that early game aggression with the drop off and actually taking advantage of the verticality of Paragon like that. They dropped right on top of their heads. Cosby got a triple smash and grab, and he's actually rotating around looking for another one on a gank on Sour. Sour doesn't even know he's there just yet, and Legend is playing a good job. Oh, he's going to run in. Cosby going with the green buff. Lance smash and grab. Thunk to follow up. Seismic Assault will save Sour. As Legend gets the auto attack, he's going to miss one, land the other. But Sour now looking a little unhealthy. Maybe a little shook as he got jumped on very, very quickly like that.
Cosby didn't actually have the double pain. Level 2, he had the dash and the smash and grab, which means that his jungle clear took a little bit of a beating there in the early stages. Didn't actually get the quickest clear that he would like. He's still level 2 at the 3-minute mark, which means that IDOC's actually going to grab this black buff. And now we're going to have to see what IDOC can do. He's got the green and the black. Is he going to be able to actually get a gank off here and try and utilize these as much as he can?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we've already seen One More Wave be set back just a little bit with those early kills and that early gank out of Cosby. So IDOC, who likes to be aggressive, and we're seeing that right now, he has the black buff and the green buff rotating to Regal. Regal doing a great job using the Judgment. The rock goes out, it will miss. It's going to be a failed gank for IDOC, unfortunately, whose jungle is now starting to build up ever so slightly. We are seeing Obamacare rotate in the mid lane onto Vanilla QT, who's trying to flex onto Squishy Flap. So we're seeing a 2v1 dual lane in the mid. Interesting choice. Hopefully that Obamacare and Squishy Flap will actually be able to deal with Vanilla QT a little better than a Howitzer will.
Yeah, the main reason I think they've decided to put this in the middle lane is it means that they can be pretty safe and also go along with IDOC into ganks or into jungle. They can try to take a little bit of the resources in that form. However, they haven't been able to do that at the moment because of the early deficit they've built themselves in. Especially if you're just looking at the amount of assists, that the side of how Hydra got 13 assists from that fight because of all of them being involved. It's already given them the extra point lead on the board. So 3-point lead on the one Legend because of those 3 kills, sitting at 9, whereas everyone else is only sitting at 6 and 7 points.
Obamacare being jumped on by the Mark and Hive from Vanilla QT. One thing I do like about putting the dual lane in mid against the Morogesh is that Morogesh is going to have a much harder time bullying down 2 targets. Flat out, you have the Decker. As soon as Morogesh gets near and starts to flex onto Obamacare, Decker's right there with the stasis and the slow, and they can actually counteract engage, opposed to the traditional way where Morogesh is just bullying you, throwing that hive, taking down that damage, shoving you under your tower, and just laughing at you while she does it.
It is the 5-minute mark as well. We did see both the buffs spawn, both blue buffs, so we're not going to be seeing any sort of extravagant black buff plays where they try to go for a kill, trying to utilize it, not available. It just means that Vanilla QT is going to be a little bit safer here in this mid lane. a little bit more of a slippery target. With that blue buff, he can get away from most ganks.
Idok trying really hard to get a successful gank off right now, and he's had 3 so far that failed. He finally lands the rock. The landmine's going to knock Regal back. Make it rain, going to zone out the Kwong as they're chasing him down. Regal going to use the light of the heavens to try and add a little of defense so he can get the time to walk back to the turret. And Idok's looking to dive. He's going to land the rock. Regal trying to go for the jukes. He doesn't manage to dodge it, and that's going to be Idok getting his first successful gank off on the enemy team. However, in the left lane, Cosby doing a little bit of work on his own as he's pushing Sour out of the off lane as well. Pixel, that one legend, and Cosby all ready to jump onto that Belica, just waiting for the right opportunity as Sour goes for the seismic assault onto the support. Cosby jumping in now, getting ready to add a little bit of pressure onto the Belica, and he's looking to bat, but the minions are right there chasing down the Grux. So he's going to have to walk away. No lazy backs for the Grux right now.
So we do see one more wave get a kill on the board with a nice successful gank from Idok, even though he was looking for that gank for a long time, which means that in terms of levels, he's actually going to be slightly behind Cosby right now. He's probably going to hit level 5 a little bit later, which is actually going to be quite big. Not having that in range of the King of the Jungle, being able to like regen, tower dive, and get the insta rock is actually pretty big on a jungle rampage. He really wants to grab that so that he can start going for the more aggressive plays early on, which a lot of other junglers can't do, and try tank the tower or engage from halfway in the river with the jump and get these big sort of fights that he is going to thrive in, and being slightly behind is going to put a lot of pain in that.
VeilQT now being engaged on by the enemy team as Ozybear lands the landmine. He's going to be able to walk out of that one. Gank not fully successful. No one there to help VeilQT at this time. Pixel now rotating as well to try and defend that tower. Moragesh has potential to defend the tower, but not against a Decker howitzer. That's a good way to get yourself killed. We are seeing the team start to push off. They're going to back and get some of their first buys of the game. Ozybear back into the mid lane. 2v1 against Pixel and VeilQT. What are we seeing on first buy? So Obamacare now sitting at 10 points. Picking up a ward, actually.
Well, we're seeing the quenching scales actually completed on Squishy Flat. He's already gotten it, fully upgraded, sold a couple of his early stage items. He doesn't have a ward yet, but he does have quenching, which means his fights are probably going to favor one more wave right now, purely because of the early completed quenching giving such a huge amount of health early on. And Madspell Sash on Idok, really strong card on Rampage, especially because you're going to regen a lot with your ultimate in fights, long sustained fights. You're going to consistently output the aura damage out to at least 2 or 3 people, which is incredibly useful. And the rest of the builds are pretty straightforward. We're seeing Mad Meltdowns and Mad Stone Gems.
Oh, there is the Stasis Bomb Rock combo onto Cosby, coming out of the support and jungler on one more wave. River buff spawning now in 10 seconds. And that's going to make an interesting proposition for the Rampage. He's very, very gank happy right now. He's going to get himself a purple buff. Then the left side of the map is VeilQT picking up a black buff onto the Moragesh. I want to see how this one is going to play out. We have Squishy Flat clearing out the ward on the left side of the map, on the right side of the map in the mid lane. As we now, oh, double stun coming out of the Rampage and the Decker, as Idok picking up yet another kill on a successful gank in the mid lane. Cosby rotating in as well, but he realizes the team is not there to help him, so he's gonna have to back off on that one as one more wave crashes into the tier 1 tower to try and take that one. Squishy Flap throwing out a stasis bomb, just will not land completely to the right side of that Grux. Tower goes down. One more wave backing off, looking to buy as the Raptor spawn in 10 seconds, giving Hydra the chance to go for the objective and increase the lead on one more legend.
What I'm really liking here for one more wave here is they've managed to get and claw back some of that early deficit from that failed invade in the first couple of minutes. If we're just looking, the only person ahead right now still is that one legend. If they can shut him down, they're in for a good fight here.
And the scary thing here is that Hydra has the advantage, but being in the Raptor pit against a Howitzer Decker is a scary thing you want to do. However, it's currently working out in their favor as that one Legend picks up a kill. Pixel going in with a crash bang boom onto Obamacare. Might go down himself as he gets picked up by the Moragesh. Squishy Flap just trying to fight out the Narbash at this time, and they're going to back on that one. The Make It Rain will land, but Legend with the long arm of the law sniping the Howitzer right out of the air. And that is going to ruin any chance of that early game advantage that One More Wave was trying to claw back.
Yeah, again, that one Legend on Murdoch. Murdoch is one of those champs, if he gets to that point where he gets some crit, in the later stages of the game, he can do like 600 to 700, nearly 800 per hit.
I think he's
probably
the
one of the most powerful,
hardest hitting ADC in the game, right?
Yeah, he is per single hit, but he does lack in other areas. He has to sacrifice quite a bit in terms of itemization, so he's going to have to probably grab like the stasis or a blink, or potentially both. On top of that, his auto attack speed is a little bit lacking in terms of other heroes, so things like Twin Blast can actually just destroy through him just because of his abilities that he has available.
And we are seeing Hydra go back onto the Raptors. We see another Raptor fight happen now. Squishy Flap doing a good job of zoning out the rest of the team on Hydra, and they're now just hovering around waiting for the teams to make their pick. Regal Trader walking in now looking to clear out the drone and the ward, and it seems that they are successful in doing so. Teams are now back in their jungle farming out, as I think we might see One More Wave look to take those Raptors, because if they can get those, that's going to really help out the early game. Regal Initiator going out to throw out the sword, and it will miss, even though 3 targets are right nearby. Cosby dashing in, gets stunned out by Decker, and the rock from IDOC will miss as well. Warlord's challenge being dropped, and this is the fight that they were looking for, as the Containment Defense and the Make It Rain are dropped right onto the heads of Hydra. Pixel going in with a crash bang boom to help secure a kill onto Obamacare. The teams are now looking to run away as Pixel and the rest of his team are no health. That's another one down, another one biting the dust, as that one Legend getting hit by the Seismic Assault. R2000 rocket to finish the job onto the Murdoch. Vanilla QT, no man is just trying to run away in being the last one alive. And that is a very big pickup for One More Wave, as they're now back into the game once again, going on to the Raptors, looking to secure that one and give themselves another bit of a card point advantage to make up for the deficit we saw in the early game.
The thing is, Obamacare was the first one to fall in that fight, and we also saw a follow-up 3-man stasis bomb from Squishy Flap, which actually won them that fight. As they were sort of trying to get into a retreat to try and win that fight, Squishy Flap pulled it out with a 3-man stasis, allowed them to secure one of the kills. I believe it was, I think it was Pixel or Cosby was inside the pit, and then they chased for the other 2 afterwards. But again, Obamacare didn't get any of that. He's only sitting at 15. The rest of his team are the ones who are going to have to put on their carry shoulders to help Obamacare get some of those resources now on the map, because he needs to be able to stay ahead, try and catch up, but he's not at that point.
And that's what we're talking about. You really don't want to fight a Decker and a Howitzer in a contained space like Raptor Pit, where there's only 2 ways to get out, really. And they took complete advantage of that. The Containment Defense landed on so many targets. The Make It Rain followed up perfectly with Squishy Flap, and they just chunked down the enemy team. Unfortunately, Obamacare did go down, but overall, that's a 4-for-1 trade.
Yeah, it's a 4-for-1. It does allow, as we see, Azibet to stay at 22 points. Still behind of that one Legend who's 5-1. They haven't been able to take him out that quickly in fights, which has kind of been the main reason why they haven't gotten a full sweep. That one Legend does so much damage on Murdoch right now. He's got 4 completed items, 4 completed fully upgraded bonuses already stacked for himself, and it makes it really rough.
And we are seeing Hydra jump on to the T1 in the mid lane. Azzybear nearby was getting ready position for the landmine, but however will not be able to get onto that one. Cosby sitting at the top of the staircase. He's going to back off right now. Bit of an ARAM going on once again, as we usually see around this time in the game. Black and red spawning, so we both know that the teams are looking to fight as they get their damage-oriented river buffs. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this one plays out.
Well, I suspect nothing much is going to happen. We're going to see Either they force this, or they potentially start losing some damage on their tier 2, because the waves are pushing against them here on the side of Hydra.
And there is Regal Invisator landing the Judgment, following up with the Heavens Fury. And Cosby getting a smash and grab onto Containment Fence, doing a good job of zoning out the enemy team. As Idoc now jumping back behind his tower. Vanilla QT in a little bit of trouble as Bellica neural disrupts the Moragesh, dropping her into the floor once again. And Stasis Bomb going out, landing on that one. Legend followed by the Seismic Assault. The CC on one more wave is absolutely incredible, and they're doing a great job of landing it as Cosby gets hit by the rock. Idoc jumping in, but the R2000 rocket ending the dreams of Cosby, knocking that Grux down 2-for-0 trade. We are seeing one more wave, even the game out, putting themselves back into it. Score now 8-8, 21 assists for Hydra, 22 assists for one more wave.
If they're able to secure one more wave's worth of farm, they're also going to be matching on farm on the board because it's incredibly close. 263, 264 to 261, only a few points behind. However, it is going to be that problem I've been mentioning throughout a lot of this game. Obamacare on that carry role is one of the furthest behind on his team, and that's actually really rough for them. They're really going to be reliant on Azzy Bear right now. That Make It Rain is going to have to take out or do a lot of damage against the side of Hydra for them to actually win most of these fights. For now, they've been hitting them every single time. But if Azzy Bear does get caught, which I suspect we're going to see Hydra aim for, they're going to try to catch out Azzy Bear. We saw it in the last fight. They tried to go for him, but he managed just to get his Make It Rain out to avoid the gank. But if he gets caught, that is a huge loss for them, and they're going to have to play around that very, very well. Prime is also up, and also a point of contention along with these Raptors. And we're going to have to see who controls the vision for these points as well, because at the moment there's no strong vision control from either team. We see a couple of wards here for the side of Hydra in that red side jungle, which is quite nice to have because you can see a little bit of the rotations, but not more apart from that.
And this is the game that I was excited for, because we're seeing a lot of very strong plays, a lot of aggression, a lot of action coming out of both sides, and we're at such an even match right now. Obamacare now jumping onto Regal as Cosby rotating in as well. He's looking to maybe pick up onto Obama. He dashes in. The Warlord's Charge will miss. So will the smash and grab. However, the Stasis Bomb and Rock connect to Cosby, and they're going to peel away from that team fight. Cosby not able to get that pick. If he was, that could have been a very, very different situation for one more wave. Losing Obamacare once again.
It was a really good stasis gem, yet again from Squishy Flab. He's been on point with these throughout this game, using them to deny the escape, using it to cancel out abilities. And we're going to have to see these Raptors actually going over for one more wave. Probably going to get prioritized onto Obamacare because he really needs to start catching up. He's still a good 8 points behind that one legend in terms of overall CXP, also 30 minions behind as well.
All right, but he did get those Raptors, and he's starting to catch up a little bit. Hydra was not able to contest that at all as they were pushing down the right lane of one more wave. Riverbus spawning once again in 5 seconds. And we are seeing Pixel go over there to clear a ward. Vanilla QT is right beside it. It's going to be a black buff. Azzy Bear picking that one up. It's another black buff on the right side. This gives one more wave a very strong advantage if they decide to use it. By the looks of it, they're actually just going to take this opportunity to deny the black buffs from Team Hydra. And they're just going to back by Azzy Bear has a couple points to spend, and he's getting his stasis gem already.
Yeah, Stasis Gems out. Also, I'm loving the sort of build path we're seeing at the moment. Azzy Bear, as you mentioned, Stasis Gem. We also have Radiant Mantle on Regal, which is a really common card we're seeing on Quang. It's the order version of Mad Spore, and also Thick Blood. To try and stop this Rampage from regenning throughout his ultimate. Double Thick Blood, so it means that no matter what, he's going to get hit. And the Hive also works with Vanilla QT on Thick Blood, which means that for 12 seconds, you're going to get reduced healing.
And that's going to be really coming into play as the game progresses, because Idoc won't have the regen or the tower dive capability that Rampage will have. They're going to have to take care of both Quang and Moragesh before they even think of utilizing the Rampage to its fullest extent. Yeah,
I agree completely. We're seeing the wards around Raptor as well. One ward for either team, one just outside the pit, one just inside. Tier 1 falling here. Not the big of the deal. 20 minutes into this game, Tier 1's... You can expect most of them to be down, but again, this game is looking incredibly close. We were waiting for one of these sorts of games. We've gone from a 12-minute game to what looks to be one going for the long haul, getting to the sort of 60 card point mark, and you can't get a more stark difference than that.
I'm so excited to see how this one plays out, because both teams are playing beautifully right now, getting those counter picks, getting those plays off, making moves, and you know, they're not letting the other team get any sort of real confidence advantage. They both teams have to play very cautiously and carefully, but they're doing so with the confidence that that they need to make these moves. So, you know, there's respect for the other team, but there's also the desire to win.
Yeah, I completely agree, and we're seeing this at the moment. Neither team is taking any sort of big risks at the moment. We saw them at the start go for a big counter engage on the invade, and now we're seeing Hydra go for an invade as well.
Hydra getting in a little bit of trouble as he gets hit. 4v1. They're jumping on him and they actually get it off. Those thick bloods coming to play right now as they burst down the rampage on his own green jungle. And that's going to be Regal burning down the Heaven's Fury. They're actually running right over to Prime. I'm looking to secure that one.
They have to be careful of the Deca Howie combo here. It's going to be prime position for them to do that as well.
All right, and they're actually going to back off on that one. They were looking to probably bait it out. One more way of having to respond to the 4v5 short-handed play. However, they do manage to make sure Prime isn't being contested. It is warded for them, so the second Cosby goes over there, they know exactly what's happening, and they're going to react to that once again. Clearing that ward out. Cosby back on to Orb Prime. That one Legend is there as well. One more.
Howitzer is not, though. He's just left base.
Oh no, he's just coming back in, but Regal Infantry getting caught by the artillery strike on Orb Prime. And he's going to back off as well. Obamacare rotating in, walking by the ward in the mid lane. And we're seeing that no man's land that we've talked about before start to progress, where teams want to make a play, but it's that point in the game, and the game is so close that any mistake will be capitalized on and turn that even game into a complete disadvantage. And we're seeing that now that we know Hydra has gone for Prime. That gives one more wave an indication of that. And we are seeing a containment fence, make it rain combination in the jungle once again. This time IDOC getting the revenge onto the Moragesh. Azimir landing the landmine and the grenade from Obamacare, picking it up. Cosby dashing out, just managing to dodge the stasis bomb. And this is the play we were talking about. The mistake was made, and the play was made. T2 going down, and that is going to be Hydra losing their jump pads. I think they're actually going to progress for that inhibitor as well.
Yeah, they have, I think, a big enough wave for them to burst this down, and they also have a lot of their resources still available. IDOC still has that stun, he just missed it.
Cosby jumping onto Azubert, however, the landmine and the stasis bomb will connect. Cosby having to dash out of there. Obamacare throwing in a few grenades just to add a little bit of poke damage off, and he's going to use the ventilate to try and zone out Cosby. However, Regal Infantry jumping on to Squishy Flap with his own ultimate. He's now going in. There's the laser picking up Squishy Flap. This will be Prime if another one goes down, and it will be IDOC going down to Legend. Obamacare using a pretty early stasis gem, and that's going to get him killed as well. 3 people going down. They do get the inhibitor, but at what cost? They lose 3. Prime is going to be taken as well by Hydra. Oh, there's Pixel using the stasis gem.
And Obama didn't actually have to use the stasis in that last fight. Regal didn't actually have any mana to use any of his other abilities, so that stasis kind of ended up getting him killed in a position he could have just walked away. And now will we see the counter push here from Hydra? Will they be able to take their own inhibitor against one more wave? They've got the Prime, they're going to be regenning, 2 are still down. They can get these waves set up, and they can go for this push of their own. And if they manage to get their own...
Oh my god, Azumir being jumped on 4v1, forcing his ultimate out from the enemy team. And he's going to go down as Legend just rotates in and pops him in the mouth with an auto attack. And Legend now on absolute fire, as I believe this will be the tier 2 tower going down for one more wave. And they actually will
Prime
also...
regen is kicked in as well.
Yeah.
Pixel's already nearly at half health of half mana. This is ideal here for Hydra just before the 6th tower.
Regal landing the judgment, however, Sour burning the stasis gem just to protect himself from the fury of the heavens, in case Regal wanted to go in on that one. Wave being cleared, Regal the first one in to tank the tower, using the light of the heavens to absorb a little more of that damage the tower is going to dish out. Waves now crashing in. They do have a left lane pushing in their advantage as well. Right lane in favor of one more wave. Cosby now dashing into the tower, missing the smash and grab. Containment fence going down, catching Legend and Vanilla QT inside of it. Idoc there as well to defend the tower. Inhibitor does go down, and it's going to be Hydra looking to escape. They lose one to Sour from the Nadol's Raptor, picking up the kill on the no mana Moragesh. Regal throwing out the Judgment of the Heavens just to zone out the enemy team. Squishy Flat still trying to see what he can do to stop the team from backing. However, that's now an even pick, and they need to defend the left lane as the size of that wave crashing in to that tier 2 is going to affect them. However, one more wave's own giant minion wave is looking to do a little bit of damage to that inhibitor.
So at the end of all of that fight, it felt like an age before we can even get to any sort of breakdown. Both inhibs down, and then get a nice sort of trade, I think, for either team. I feel like Hydra is going to be more happy with that than one more wave, because Hydra was on a counter push. They had their own inhib taken, they managed to get a good fight off of that, and then carry on that push to secure their own middle inhibitor from that. Points-wise, Obamacare is only at 36. He's still behind the One Legends at 48. This Raptor's going to help him yet again lower that gap, lower that deficit in points. And we are seeing builds slowly getting to sort of the more completed stages right now. Regal Infiltrator, Thermobond, Radiant Mantle, Thick Blood. He's not dying anytime soon in these fights. And all these stasis gems across the board on both teams mean that people are going to have to time their abilities a lot more carefully.
Now, if we look at that one Legend right now, like you said, he's at 50 card points. Meanwhile, Obamacare's at 36. But that one Legend is 9-1. He's absolutely monstrous right now. He's doing incredibly well this game. He's got his crit bonus online. He opted for the Hunger Maul this time around, getting a little bit of life still in there. Crit bonus online. Obamacare just hitting his crit bonus, but he does not have any crit to back that up. He's got, oh no, he's got 30% with an impact hammer right there.
Yeah, so he's going to be hitting, on average, every like 3 shots he'll crit, hopefully. Not necessarily going to be exactly that, but on average it should be around that mark. But points-wise, as he bears at 42 as well, so he's doing very well for himself, 3, 3, and 7. Sitting ahead of the majority of the side of Hydra, including Vanilla QT and Regal, sitting just slightly ahead, to be honest. But again, really close match. The One Legend is pretty much the main reason Hydra's still in this game. The amount of damage he can output, those long arm of the laws he's been hitting consistently to get in those kills, has pretty much turned a lot of these fights around on their head when they should have been in favor of that one wave. And
they're doing a very good job of utilizing the long arm of the law at the right places in the fights as well. One thing I want to note is everyone in this, the Stasis Gem is the new flavor of the month. We're seeing 4 of them on One More Wave and 3 of them currently on Hydra, compared to a couple of weeks ago when we first saw Stasis Gem start to become popular on the competitive scene.
Yeah, it became popular the second it got its cost reduced. Because it's a card that you can also build power in, you can even out your builds a lot easier. The pathing can be a bit easier, so any spare points you want to throw in, you can just throw it into the stasis. There's no upgraded, so you can only use 1 upgrade if you need to fill in a couple extra points, and you get a really nice smooth curve in terms of what you want to build, so you can get the 1-1s, and then any leftovers, instead of having sort of big top point cards, you can kind of just throw it into the stasis gem.
All right, yeah, no, it's really interesting. Now, Stasis Gem being such a strong card, like you said, you can build power into it. What's the advantage of Stasis Gem over Blink Shot or a Blink card?
Well, there isn't too much, to be honest. The main reason is you can also build stuff into it. The power, as I mentioned, is the main reason. Also, 2.5 seconds. is an incredibly long time. So you can dodge abilities with it. So like the Morigesh ultimate, you can dodge the majority of the Make It Rain if you time it correctly. You can dodge stuns or the Heaven of the Furies, the ultimates from Chimera, the Cull, the Countess ultimate, Feast. You can dodge if timed correctly as well. So that is the main reason you take it over the blink, is so that you can blow out these cooldowns. By removing these cooldowns, it's one less cooldown for your stasis gem, and that's a lot of damage potentially being removed from a fight.
All right, teams are looking to go back into the mid lane as they're getting ready for yet another fight. We saw both inhibs being taken down, so game is actually set back to even. Cosby picking up his blue buff. Left lane, we are seeing Legend with the black buff. Prime spawning in just under a minute. So this next play could very well decide the state of the game and how it goes. Regal throwing out the Judgment of the Heavens to try and get a pick. It will miss. Cosby rotating as well. And now they're going through the green jungle. They might be looking to pick up Sour. They actually see that Emberlink is full, and they're going to completely drain it just to get something out of the map, you know, do something with their rotation. And I think they're looking at Prime.
They have a lot of vision here around the river. They're going to be able to see when One More Wave do decide to come to contest it. However, I don't think they know. I feel like One More Wave is just reliant on the sound of the orb come crashing in, and the second they've heard it, you can see them turn and go and check it.
And now Cosby could be a little caught out as Obamacare, and as he start to do a little bit of damage, it's Azzybear who has to dodge, burning his ultimate for the Make It Rain. Idok landing the rock, and Sour blowing up Vanilla QT. Azzybear getting hit by the long arm of the law from Murdoch, who's sitting at the back of the team fight. Containment fence goes out as Obamacare is using the stasis gem to absorb a little bit of damage. They're going to catch Cosby, who is the only one inside that containment fence. That's a triple kill going down right now, and that is going to be Legend caught out as well. Legend getting his second death of the game. Quadra kill. Oh man, that's absolutely insane. So we're seeing what was the advantage for Legend and the rest of his team on Hydra now being thrown to the wind, as they now are going to get the full ace. Obama picking up a quadra kill. It's absolutely insane. They're getting Prime. Sour has back to defend the tower.
They overextended for that pick on Azzybear, and they didn't get it. And they got heavily punished for that. Azzybear was able to survive a lot longer than he should have. Was able to get out the full Make It Rain and take out Vanilla QT, which was the turning point in that fight. The second Vanilla QT was gone, Morigesh wasn't able to do the long sort of DPS over time fights that she loves and craves to fight in. And that was it. The one Legend was too far away, wasn't able to do any consistent damage, couldn't risk going for it either. And they ended up getting the Prime off of that, but again, they haven't been able to do much more. They get Prime, they backed out, probably going to spend some of their points and try to push some of these side lanes in before they go for a big fight.
So yes, as it stands right now, we are seeing Hydra giving one more chance to keep themselves in this game. They do not have the advantage at this time. Waves are pushing against them. Idok going for the weak side jungle camp. It could cost his team. He has to burn his ultimate. Cosby getting caught out, as well as Sour using the stasis gem in the midair. Pixel falling with a crash bang boom. However, won't be enough as he gets knocked up and out as well. Stasis gem coming out of Obamacare and Regal Infiltrator. As Azzybear uses his own ultimate, Stasis Bomb going out will actually land onto Legend, as Sour is going to use the Teleblink to close the gap and run by, trying to get the Seismic Assault onto Cosby, as the rest of his team picks up the kill on Legend, and that is very well a chance for one more wave to end the game, as they're now crashing into the inhibitor, taking down the second one in the right side of the map. Cosby's looking to do what he can to defend, but he knows he doesn't have the team to really back it up. So now that's going to be Inhib 2 down, as one more wave is going to crash another wave into the core, and they're looking to end this game. They very well can if they play their cards right. Regal Infiltrator might be going down as he gets hit by another hit of CC. Azzybear is going to be completely blown down by the core and Cosby, but Cosby will not be able to secure that kill, and one more wave will will be able to secure that win. 35 minutes into the game, final score 20-14. Amazing game we saw today. Both teams doing such a great job, back and forth, not giving up a lead. The other team coming back.
It looked so bad at the beginning of the game from One More Wave. They start off the match, 4 go down, 3 kills directly into the side of that Murdoch with the one legend. And right off the bat, we're thinking, okay,
oh, no.
they've got a this match is going to be incredibly snowballing. But they kept it cool. They took a good couple of fights after that. They managed to secure the Raptors. And then that weird engage with the inhibitors actually ended up paying out for them because they managed to secure the second prime and take the win.
Mm-hmm. And that was really it. Like, Legend was so far ahead, but that one team fight, I believe it. Who was it that picked up that quadra kill? I believe it might have been Sour. It was Sour. It had to have been Sour because he's sitting 9-0. Sour absolutely showing who's the boss around here, doing such a great job of helping that team fight turn in his favor. And right off that play alone, they were able to secure that win.
Yeah, they were incredibly strong play. I love the prime control they managed to get for the second time round. It took a really convincing fight in the mid lane again with Azibeg. It looked like he'd been caught out. A lot was used on him, but he managed to get his full combo out to take out QT. And from there on in, even though they lost their mid laner, the fight was in their favor. They managed to secure prime and ended up winning the game off that big play.
All right, and that is going to be our last game for the day. We did see the one we were all looking forward to, Hydra versus One More Wave. One More Wave showing that eventually, if you cut off enough heads of the Hydra, it will die if you're persistent enough. And they were able to secure their win. So are they going to be moving in the next round?
I suspect so. I'm not sure what the bracket results are at this moment in time, but considering I believe that was their main competition for the group, I suspect they are going to go through, but I can confirm that if you give me one moment.
Alrighty, guys. So like we said, that will be our last game for the day, but I believe there's still a few more things going on in the main channel, and we will host you guys over there in just a second. With that being said, we had a good time today. I'm Geronimo Jack. Thank you for joining us in the basement stream. This is our friend Gems. He's a bit of our mascot. Stay tuned. We will have emotes of his head. That hairline I can't wait for it, Gems. That's all I want. I want to see that hairline emote. It's really what I'm looking forward to. But yeah.
Okay. So One More Wave 3-0. They are through the group, and I believe Hydra in second place as well.
So those two are going to go through.
Yeah.
To meet the next teams. All right.
Yes, they are.
So we'll have more games for you guys tomorrow. Stream is at 2 o'clock, like we usually do, and we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Had some good games today, and we'll see you guys soon.